Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Joshua. I'm with Wava Omak Public Speaking, and this is my demonstration speech. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make popcorn. You're going to need about a 4 or 5 quart mixing bowl from Walmart, butter, a knife, a pot with a lid, oil, canola or olive or vegetable, whatever your preference is, and unpopped popcorn. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take all this stuff over to the stove. Now, what you want to do first is to get the oil into the pot. Now you're going to want enough to cover the bottom, but not too much that you're overflowing. So, you switch that around maybe a little bit more, maybe that was a little bit too much. Next, we're going to put the popcorn in. You want it to where the oil can touch every kernel without any sticking above. So you got to shake it around a little bit, add a little bit more, shake it some more. We're going to put this on the stove, on the back burner for safety, to about the 7 out of 10 on the heat scale. Alright, while that's on the stove, every 30 seconds or so you want to shake it like this, just to make sure that once it starts popping, all the kernels will stay on the bottom. While we're waiting for that to cook, we're going to want to put butter on our popcorn. So depending on how tasty you want your popcorn, you're going to put about, if you're a real health nut, you'll put that much on. If you enjoy food, you're going to put about that much on. I enjoy my food, so I'm going to cut it right here. And as soon as the popcorn is done popping, we'll get right back to this. Alright guys, this is the really, really boring part where it's on the stove and we're waiting for it to pop and it just takes a while. So be patient, we will get there. Alright guys, now it's starting to pop. It can be really hot, you gotta be careful. Sometimes just through the lip of the lid, grease will pop out and it'll hit you, and it is hot. And you'll yell and you'll try not to swear because your parents will be mad if you do. So be careful when you're shaking it to make sure all the kernels are on the bottom. Wash your hands. If you have gloves, that's great, but I don't use them. I don't think they're terribly necessary. Keep waiting. We're going to bring the bowl from over here. Put the popcorn in. Ever closer to the top, we're going to start putting just a little bit at a time. Now we're going to shake it up again so that all the kernels end up back on the bottom. We're going to put it back on the burner for it to continue to pop. So, did you guys know that popcorn is actually really, really healthy for you before you put all the butter on it? And if you use vegetable oil? I mean, I probably should be using vegetable oil and not putting butter on it, but I like popcorn that tastes good. So, it's a personal preference. If you guys are health nuts, that's okay. I forgive you. No. Anyway, alright, so it gets back full to the lid again. Start putting bit by bit. Uh-oh. Looks like I put a little bit too much into the popcorn pot, so what I'm going to have to do is find a smaller version of the bowl, like this. Put a little bit in here. Now this is ideal. This is the ideal bowl of popcorn. When I do this, do you hear any kernels at the bottom? No. That is perfect. It is perfect. It's wonderful. And this will serve 1 to 2 people. And we'll get to butter next. Now what I'm going to do with the leftovers. There are some crazy people in this world, like my mother, who enjoy their popcorn burnt. So I'm going to let that popcorn simmer on the stove until it stops popping. Then I'm going to wait 30 seconds. 30 seconds after it stops popping, it will be burnt. I'll be able to put it in this bowl, and my mom will be able to enjoy her burnt popcorn. So I don't know if any of you are that crazy, but, if you are, Okay? So. Alright guys, so it's been just sitting here, not popping, for about 15 seconds. I'm going to do this just to make sure there's no other kernels. It sounds like there's one kernel, but it may or may not pop. Alright, it's been sitting here long enough. I think we can take it out. We're going to pour it into the small bowl very carefully, putting the lid over like this. Now you see, my mom is she's kind of like a burnt popcorn connoisseur. She wants it very particular. You take a look at this right here. It's just lightly burnt just to flavor the popcorn. If you're crazy, more power to you. We're going to take the hot lid, put it over in the sink, run some cold water over it so it doesn't burn anything. Next is the butter. Now, one of the nice things about popcorn is that you already have a pot on the stove that you can put the butter right into. We're going to lower the heat down to about 3 or 4. Take the butter out of its package and put it into the pot. Alright, and we're going to let that simmer on the stove for about a minute until it's all melted. Hey guys, so we're looking at the butter right now in here. Now this is almost ideal. Sometimes I like to brown the butter a little bit to bring out the salt flavor, but you don't have to do that. So we're going to be very, very slowly pouring the butter into the popcorn bowl. I want to make sure we get all of it covered. We're going to set this down for a minute. We're going to toss this. Alright, now we got a whole bunch of fresh popcorn that doesn't have any butter. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Alright, so now my mom is out of butter. Remember this little guy? We left him off last time? Well, he's going to get to be used tonight. So we're going to put him back into the pot. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it up to between 5 and 6. And I'm going to show you guys how to burn butter to bring out that taste. Alright guys, so burning the butter takes a little while. This is almost what it was like earlier. Now we're going to put it back on the burner. Turn it down to about 3 so that it doesn't all boil out and bubble and then it's all evaporated. So we're going to wait a little bit longer till it's burnt. Ready? Alright guys, so we're back. When you're looking at the butter now, you may not see how it's burnt, but underneath it is very, very brown. You see how it's that golden brown color? I'm not sure if you guys have a good angle. You do? Mm-hmm. Alright. So that's when you know that it's good. It's going to bring out that salt flavor, and that way you can use less salt. So we're going to do just like we did before with the other bowl. We're going to pour it on in a nice circle. Did you guys get a view of how brown that is? That's what you're going to want to go for. You finish pouring. Alright. And that is how you make stove popcorn. Be careful, be safe, and enjoy the treat.